Satnam, hello, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about inner conflict. So this is the big question. For modern people like us with busy jobs and schedules, how do we integrate yoga, science and modern life? How do we live our normal lives and yet achieve bliss? That is the question. And this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Mariya and welcome to Lifestyle Secrets. I've had a very busy day and a half. It's been quite turbulent, both in the office and in my yoga world. And it really got me thinking about how things have changed and progressed in the past few years, really. So we are now living in a space which requires a lot more us of going out there. It's not just anymore the life we know, where we need stability, we want our job to pay us some reasonable money, we want security at home, we want to have family, we want to progress. No, now we want to actually leave a legacy, we want to teach others, we want to help others achieve something, and we want to learn and elevate ourselves to a state where we can help. So we have that urge, but we haven't learned how to actually express it or how to reach there. So for many of us, we have that frustration, that inside conflict of I'm not enough, I'm not doing enough, I haven't achieved enough, my life is not enough. And that creates a lot of tension, a lot of negativity, and a lot of kind of busyness in the mind. So a few things to touch upon, I think, are number one, to get rid of that inner conflict, we need to stop being judgmental. We should stop judging. As Yogiji says, the intensity, the strength of your judgment is your biggest enemy. And what he means by that is that the more we focus on kind of outwardly judging others, putting concepts, comparing things as to what we might be putting in our head, the more we create that negative pattern that brings us down. So we should not assume we know everybody's story, and that what looks on the surface as one thing might not actually be the truth, because we don't know what that person is going through. We don't know how this particular moment could actually affect the person. So, reserving ourselves from kind of going out there and kind of concluding and making patterns and making stereotypes and figuring where people fit in our stereotypes is probably very important. The other thing that's also quite important to notice is our brains are pretty old. Like our brains are thousands of years old. So the hardware is the same, but the software hasn't been updated for many years. And it's not like Apple is going to release a brain update lately. So you're going to have to work on this. And you need to understand that our brains function on kind of fight or flight mode. We act from fear and we react because of that. And sometimes we do it consciously because there is a situation to do so, but sometimes we do it just because we are accustomed to such a reaction or action. Somebody comes to you and tells you something, you immediately emotionally act or react, either in defense or you run away. But raising the awareness, understanding that this brain of ours is actually a bit outdated, and we need to train it and train the mind to be under our control and to help us understand really how to maintain our life and our stability and get that control is very important. So number two, I would say, is to sort this massive tension we have, is really stop thinking. I know this sounds crazy, but if you just stop thinking, it's going to be fantastic, because all the troubles, all these thoughts that come into your mind, especially from subconscious background, that's stuck there somewhere, are actually not even your thoughts. So what happens is, as we blink, we get like 1,000 thoughts already, just like that. And then these thoughts, maybe one kind of goes into our conscious mind and we kind of realize it and we're aware of it, but then the other 999 are somewhere at the back of our head. And depending on our mind and our emotion and our state, These can be positive thoughts and happy thoughts, but they also can be pretty negative or dramatic or even crazy. Like sometimes we do have these thoughts passing through our head. What happens if I jump off a cliff while I'm standing there? Doesn't mean you act on it, but it's there. So it's very important we act from the gut, we act from our intuition. We have to develop this to be guiding light into what we do instead of being spontaneous on your thoughts, because thoughts are unclear. They pass through prisms of your mind and what you've created in a stereotypical world for yourself, coming from childhood, from your social background, from all the circumstances and situations we've experienced in life. And they can be quite distorted. So they might not even have anything to do with the kind of the reality and the truth. They might be true to yourself because each one of us has a truth of their own, but they might not necessarily be applying. So being cautious and conscious of the fact that mind plays tricks on us sometimes, and that these thoughts can be pretty provocative and judgmental is very important. So probably best is to stop thinking when there is a situation you're not sure of and just listen to yourself and connect to yourself in a deeper level. Another important thing is the fact that we all think that life just happens to us. I went out and something happened to me. This person came out and something happened to me. You see, this job is horrible and it's happening again, and my boss is screaming at me, and my husband is this, my wife is that. It's all happening, it's horrible, and I'm gonna be really depressed. No, because life happens for you and you create your life. And how do we do that? It's not a secret. There is I don't know if you've seen, there is a really nice book and a movie made of that, and they take all this concept and just combine it into like one little stream, and it's called The Secret. And their secret is very simple. It's the magnetic field that we use to attract. So we magnetize ourselves or create that field in which we vibrate at certain level, at certain radiance, and that attracts particles, attracts energy, attracts people, attracts circumstances in our life. And then if it's strong enough, it materializes into the physical material world. So being aware of the fact that you should elevate yourself and vibrate at a higher level, the higher energy, which we achieve via the yoga, is very important. Because if we are constantly in our problems and we're kind of out of energy, we spoke on the last podcast about how important it is to have that energy, that drive, that action to cause this change in your life. You can't just sit lifelessly, notice how life passes by and like, okay, this happened again and that happened. If you feel like it's very bad for you, then you need to break the pattern. You need to kind of stop it, cut it, and shift your mindset. Because if you vibrate low, then you're gonna start having bad things happening to you. So I'll give you an example. I had for the past few months, I had loads of stuff happening to me constantly on a very low level. And the more I was getting into it and kind of getting drawn to it, the more bad stuff was happening. So, I had to move my home. I was robbed on the street and attacked. I had problems at work. I had problems with the taxman. I had whatever problems with some of the yogis. It was just a total crazy environment. And the more I was going through it, the more I was going lower, the more bad things were happening, because my energy was already almost exhausted and depleted. And when you're in such a state, as the English say, they do have a good sense of humor, when it rains it pours, it's precisely because of this. Because once you are on that plane of negativity and low energy and low protection, you damage your aura. So your aura, which is big, bright space, protective for you, starts reducing. So the moment you start putting negative thoughts, the moment you start being judgmental, that aura, as Yogiji says, reduces 3 feet. I mean, can you imagine? It's kind of tiny. And then the moment that happens, everybody can penetrate your field, the biofield that you have. and they're more likely to hurt you, they're more likely to affect you and to steer in the wrong direction. You're also very likely to attract a lot of bad stuff. So being aware of your ecosystem around you, of your auric field, and cherishing and nourishing it is very important. And to do that, you have to be in control of your mind, and you have to be in control of the fact that you are a magnetic being and you attract via raising your vibrations here. And lastly, it's the self-acceptance concept. So it's not about running around and saying, okay, I'm gonna just repeat, I'm great, 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 and then nothing happens because you don't live it, you don't act on it, you don't believe in it, and you're just trying to force yourself into believing this. It doesn't work that way. The positive thinking hysteria, it's great to give you the understanding that there's something, but if you don't apply it in, you'll never be able to actually enjoy it, feel it, and actually really understand it. So before we actually do anything, I want to invite you to sit with me in a meditation, which will give us that bliss of allowing ourselves to accept ourselves for what we are, for our bodies, for our successes and failures, for our surroundings, family, members, your work, your whatever it is that you don't feel happy about, you're going to have to learn to accept it. Because once you accept it, then it kind of vanishes. Once you understand that things are relative, so you are relative too, you can decide, okay, I like this, or I really hate it, but I'll choose to like it because it's really pretty, it's nice, and it sits right in front of me, and it's part of my ecosystem. And I really see the beauty of it, and I really enjoy it, and it gives me the benefits of whatever it's doing. Shifting that mentality, very important, okay? So we're going to do this meditation. It's 3 parts. It's 17 minutes. Please do your best. If you feel like you have this constant backs and forth in your life and you feel very kind of torn apart and have that inner conflict of I'm not enough, I don't achieve enough, do this, okay? Just do it for 40 days. I will upload it on there'll be a link. You can download the mantra sheet and the meditation sheet, so you can actually print it out, have it with you, and every day out of the 24 hours that you have, you can dedicate 17 minutes for yourself and for your own inner harmony, and do this with me, okay? So we're going to raise the right hand above the head, so like a halo. The palm is facing down, and the hand is literally above your crown chakra. And the right hand is going to come bending elbow. Elbow is right next to the rib cage, and the palm is facing forward from the chest forward. We're going to close the eyes, and the eyes are going to be rolled downwards towards the chin, at the moon center. So we usually roll them up to the third eye, but now we're going to roll them down. And here we're going to begin a very long and deep breath. And the aim is to reach a minute per breath. So we're going to be inhaling slowly. And when you can't hold it, you're going to hold the breath on top. And slowly exhale. And keep that motion of breath. And imagining how you're blessing yourself with your right hand, the giver. That's where the energy comes from too. The left receives, the right gives. So give yourself that love and that beautiful radiance so that we feel protected and safe and blessed. And just imagine like an angel is holding your hand above your head and it's light as a feather. And there is this big, bright, warm light surrounding your body and your aura. And it's protecting you. And it gives you that sense of love and joy. It's that safe place that you're building within you and around you. Remember to roll the eyes down towards the chin. Now bring the hands without opening the eyes forward, palms facing down. And just continue breathing here long and deep, projecting from the heart and from the arms to infinity. Feeling that beautiful energy streaming from your heart through your hands and from the fingertips all the way forward, beaming purity, softness, light, and love. And raise the hands now up above your head. Palms are facing forward. Elbows are straight. Keep breathing, keep focusing the eyes within and towards the chin. Keep breathing. And now gently, gently exhale the hands down. Just stay within for a second. And inhale. Well, I hope you feel that sense of expansion and also grounding in. It's a very powerful meditation, so I really, really encourage you, if you feel that you are out of balance, that you have a conflict with yourself, or that you allow others to penetrate within your biofield, this one is great. So just do it over 40 days. Let me know how it goes. Subscribe below as well for the channel so you constantly get that reminder of you're not alone. We all experience things and we all need to share what we've learned. So I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you subscribe. There's also like a little bell apparently that can notify you when the next podcast comes out. So exciting. So keep in touch. Get the meditation sheet. It should be somewhere, I guess, on this side of the video. And I'll see you tomorrow. But now, have a lovely day.